Hi, I'm Ron Edwards, Master Sommelier and Director of Wine Education for Winebow. I want to make sure that you're aware of one of the great bubbles resources in the world, and that's Franciacorta. Franciacorta is a region in Italy that produces wine by the same methodology as Champagne, and two of the same grapes, Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. They're called Chardonnay and Pinot Nero. And instead of Pinot Meunier, which is very prominent as a blending grape in Champagne, they use Pinot Bianco as the third grape. It is easily comparable in quality, slightly different style, but well worth the time of exploration. So let's specifically today talk about Barone Pizzini, Franciacorta Animante. This property is 100% estate fruit. So for those of us like me who love domain champagnes, the smaller champagne producers that only use their own property, almost all of your Franciacorta producers are going that direction. And Barone Pizzini is for sure an estate grown and bottled sparkling wine. So that's a really cool thing. The other thing that's really great about Pizzini wines is their low dosage level. So that's that fancy word for how much sugar goes into the wine at the very end to balance it out. And this wine is 3 to 4 grams per liter, depending on the year, which is very low. That would be considered very low in Champagne. And because of that, it sort of fits into this massive new trend of drier and drier sparkling wines while being an estate wine. I think that's awesome. So that's the story of this wine at the beginning. And now let's find out what it tastes like. The smell is beautiful. It's rising bread dough, cocoa powder from the Pinot Noir. It's yellow, ripe yellow apple, green apple, unripe pear, lemon drop candy, and unripe pineapple, and all of those fruits are sort of just weaving in and out of that crust / bread dough flavor or smell, more to the point. Sort of reminds me of pastries, fruit pastries. Let's see what it tastes like. Very elegant texture. Really has the mark of the wine that's been under pressure on the lees for a long enough time to integrate those bubbles so that the mousse doesn't attack you. It just sort of forms a cream in the mouth. Really delightful. It's wonderfully tart and dry, so it's very refreshing, as promised by the grams per liter that I mentioned before. The fruit profile is the first thing I tasted actually in the wine is a minerality thread. Very distinct, sort of rocky, delightful nuance that went between sort of a saltiness and a rockiness. And then all the fruit came, and all the fruit was tarter than the nose offered. It was tart lemon and tart green apple, unripe pear, and then that pineapple note from the nose is much more of like a pineapple core, where it's so underripe that, no, that's not the right word. It's just that part of the pineapple you normally wouldn't eat because it's just not as juicy and delicious. Really well balanced. What a delightful champagne method, or méthode traditionnelle, metodo classico in Italy, of wine. And if you're out there looking for, hey, I love champagne, I love sparkling wines from around the world, if you haven't tried a Franciacorta, and more specifically, if you haven't tried Barone Pizzini wines, find one of these. The wines are delicious. I really enjoy them. I drink them regularly. I would like you to do the same.